Ever since I can remember, always wanted to be a lawyer. Never cared to be a fireman or a cowboy or a policeman. The reason, I suppose, is that I grew up around the courthouse in my home county.
The law, when acting in concert with the government, is possibly the greatest force for social change available to man.
My senior year, the team got new equipment, uniforms and equipment. And I, as manager, was told to load up a pickup truck with all of the used equipment and uniforms and take them over to Booker T. Washington High School, which was the black high school. And even as a teenager, I said, this is not right. As I progressed in life, I realized the practice of law is a great way of public service. The executive assistant retired, and the Attorney General asked me to take that job over, which I did. And the responsibilities of that job were basically administering the Attorney General's office, hiring people, clearing all opinions that went out, keeping an eye on major litigation. While I was there, we employed the first black assistant attorney general that was ever employed by the state. There are a lot of things that people might want that are violating somebody's constitutional rights. The law has to step in to make sure that doesn't happen.
Does legal justice apply to all people or to only citizens of a particular area?
I was incarcerated in LA County, which none of the Mexicans speak English or read English. So they told them, okay, you're going to sign here and you're going to be able to get released much faster. I go, do you guys even know what you guys are signing? And some of them said, no, you know, we're just going with what they told us. And that, I think it's unfair too. They were not given in Spanish, all in English.
DNA has recently proven that the legal system is not perfect and has actually contributed to great injustices.
And it's sad to find out that innocent people can be convicted. It's very sad. But we're human, and sometimes there's going to be errors.
The intervention of the law initially may be resented, but often its necessity is recognized even by those who are prosecuted by it.
He had just been discharged from Leavenworth, Kansas prison. And when the judge sentenced him, he turned to me and he said, you know, I'll get even with you. You said a few profane things. And I'm sitting in my office one day, and my secretary's out. He shows up standing there in the door. I said, oh my God. And he said, I just wanted to come by and tell you that I'm sorry I said that. You didn't do anything that I didn't deserve, and I wanted you to know that. The comparison of God's law and man's law is quite simple to me. God's law is one thing, is love. All Jesus brought to us in Christianity was love God above all and your neighbor as yourself. That's even more strongly emphasized in Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, 13th chapter. If you don't have love, it doesn't make any difference what you do. You're not there.
If grace can be defined as a second chance, then even man's law attempts to bring grace or forgiveness into its system.
Prisons in my time have changed drastically from places of punishment to places of rehabilitation, such as actual units that are dedicated to alcoholism and drug abuse, trying to get those people on the right track.
There is rehabilitated criminals like myself. I choose not to continue on the life of crime. I better myself, not only for myself, but for my kids, and to get ahead and show them that, you know, we can all change. We're all human, okay? We're not just a number.
There's programs for people in prison to attend and graduate from college in the hopes of changing their life. So there are a lot of movements to help people, and I believe that that is grace, and I believe that is some form of forgiveness.
People in prison, just like in any other place, can reject grace.
It's all segregated. If you run with them, then if they ever do get into a battle with somebody else, you have to be in there. They approached me. They ordered me to carry out a murder, and I just kept praying, and you know, and I mean, it's like the Lord, you could see the Lord just work. They took the order off and everything. I was actually really scared.
I feel like when I go in to try a case, I feel like I'm on the right side. I wouldn't be there. I know one time I defended a person that was just as clear on a civil case, but he was involved in an accident where a young child was killed. Some of my friends just were irate that I would defend him, but he was right. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry the young man was killed in the accident, but it was not my client's fault. And we proved that quite a number of times, that when a jury would come back in just before the judge would, or the clerk would read the verdict, I'd say, not your will, but not my will, but yours. God's running the show. Let nobody ever doubt that.